Hey everyone, welcome to October series part 5, where I'm going through 5 or 6 different questions from people in the WhatsApp group. In order to get access to the WhatsApp group, just email phil@ocdrecovery.com. You do not have to sit in silence. If you come to a one-to-one session or you come to one of our webinars, which are a lot of fun, it's cool to just be around 80, 90, 120 people all around the world, just every corner of the globe, different languages, to see people come together and, bond over their suffering and learn how to get better. So thank you again, Phil, all the hard work that you do. Okay, so, hey Nick, I hope you're good. Based on your video, I'd love if you could cover the questions below. Honesty and lying, and fear of living a lie in some way, and how that can be broken down. Okay, to be totally blunt about why I want you to cover this is my harm and false memory OCD is morphing into this weird thing where it's saying you need to confess everything about you and your past to every potential partner, even if I'm not sure what happened or not, etc. Okay, OCD is going to make this confession feel like it absolutely needs to happen, like any other compulsion. For this individual, it's just confession. This could be confession, any type of other self-reassurance, checking, whether it's mental checking, outward checking, washing, anger, screaming, everything, anything you can imagine. It's going to make it feel like this is the last time. But you need to ask yourself, have you met an OCD and anxiety sufferer? You need to flip things on the other side of the coin or look at the double-edged sword. Have you ever met an OCD sufferer that said, I confessed my way to recovery? It's never going to happen. There's no need to go any further than that. But I will talk about the first part. So honesty and living and lying and the fear of living a lie in some way. Humans lie all the time. Not wanting to or being resilient to accepting the facts of life of lying comes from a couple different areas. Usually there's a religious or moral obligation. That could be Christianity, Catholicism, Islam. Those are the 3 big ones, but any religion all over the world. Okay? And even someone, they hold atheistic or agnostic principles. Remember, you cannot be an atheist. You cannot be a Christian. You cannot be one thing. You are just a human that believes in Christianity. You are not a baseball player. You are a person who plays baseball. That's not what this video is about, but understanding the reasons for the myth of self-esteem and breaking that down. So lying has great benefits. There are terrific benefits in lying. You don't need to. It's understandably so, but you don't have to tell your partner every single thing about your past. And if you believe you have to, whether OCD is present or not, it's usually coming from a moral obligation of, I must do this. The sensations of feeling like a fraud inside your body. But why are those sensations so bad? Why is it so bad to engage in the act of lying? I lie all the time. I have to lie all the time. I'll give you an example, okay? Someone is in a really good mood on OCD recovery. Maybe they're 6 calls into a 10-pack. And I've learned over the years, as coaching is a full-time position, to allow people coming out the other side from the personal experience of OCD, making these mistakes myself, that these individuals usually have to learn the hard way. So maybe they're doing like, oh, this is that, and yeah, that's great, and we'll see how that goes. Well, inside my mind, I know this person's going to have an absolute fucking meltdown. In that moment, I just lied to them. I don't have any guilt or shame over that. Could I have told them the absolute possible truth possible? Sure, but it creates way more of a headache for me in the moment. And there's many things like that. People usually have to learn the hard way themselves. And for you, learning the hard way about, you can confess all you want. If it brings you to recovery, you'll be the first person that ever confesses to recovery. But that's not going to work. So you have to break down why it is not the end of the world if a human lies. Now, that's the basic premise. But because there's an extreme harm or false memory involved, this can go all sorts of ways. Jail, which I know this is in the question, and all sorts of stuff like that. You don't need any more information. This individual knows who they are. This person has had plenty of coaching and everything like that with another person on the team. That person would be Sam. All of these questions, it's good to answer them, but you don't need any more information. You just need to wear the sensations of feeling like a fraud and try your best to not confess as you slowly break this down. That's critical. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Because if they knew, they might not actually want to sleep with you, and in turn, you are sexually assaulting them if you don't tell them. Well, okay, so this is a really difficult one, okay? Not in the sense of like making it extra hard to recover, but if they knew, they might actually not want to sleep with you. Okay, let's start with that one. If Erica knew a lot of things about my past and what I've done with women, she might not want to sleep with me either, and she's my wife. There's no need. You don't need to tell them everything. Just like I don't need to know everything about all the men that Erica slept with and all their genitalia sizes and what type of things they did. I don't need to know any of that. It doesn't bother me knowing. I have no fears about that at all. But I don't need to know that information. So, and in turn, you are sexually assaulting them if you don't tell them. This is difficult because I don't know why in your mind you would think that you're sexually assaulting them if you don't tell them, if you don't confess to them. Because let's say you have a fear that you lost control and you molested someone in the past. I don't know how that in your mind would translate into sexually assaulting the person if you don't tell them. Unless it's a past person. I can't answer this one because I don't know any more detail, but I know who this person is, and this doesn't matter. All that matters is, can I accept myself as a human if I engaged in something in the past that was involved in sexual assault? That is a totally different question and not what this video is about. I know it's such a stretch to even say that, but that's where it's going. And this is exactly because it will go to the worst case scenario and stretch it further and further to make it seem like you're the exception. Handling partner or friends who have a high, very rigid, rational beliefs. This took me years. My wife, the person I'm married to, I don't need to change Erica. If she doesn't want to work on her beliefs, that's okay. I'm going to love her unconditionally while disliking a lot of things that I think she can work on, just like she disliked a lot of things about me that I need to work on. The people that are closest to us, this will bother us the most. But I got really good at this. I have an unusual biased, positive bias view to this because I work with people all day long who don't listen. OCD sufferers specifically don't listen. Humans don't listen, but OCD sufferers really don't listen because of the emotional disturbance. So I just had to realize and feel the uncomfortability that people don't need to do what I want them to do, even though I could still put my foot down. And this is a good book. Always read the books on the reading list first, but this is a really good book for that. How to keep people from pushing your buttons. There's just really good examples in here. You'll see when you get around to the book. But yeah, I just realized that I don't need anyone to know anything. I don't need anyone to change. I would like for people to change. It doesn't mean I don't speak my mind if things are really going in a bad way, but we usually don't need to speak our minds. Humans speak their minds and their opinions way more than they usually need to, and I was one of them. Okay? So a one-stop shop video for how people close to someone with OCD can help. No, that won't work. So no video, this is a really good point for you, because if you look at some of the questions that you're asking, and I've done this myself, you're trying to have it all figured out. I can just tell by the way you're formulating this, which we do this all the time. There is no one-stop shop video for someone close to you to learn. Number one, they have to want to learn. Okay, this is why addiction and rehab clinics are so hard. The person has to be very good at detaching themselves. The individual needs to want to learn. And if they come to me, I've had plenty of friends come to me. Literally, I have a one-to-one here in 16 minutes, and I'm going to pick this person up to go have a drink and smoke a cigar. I have tried, in this person's marriage, they wanted to know, they read, they were all hyped up, doesn't have OCD. Oh, I'm being a masturbator, I'm masturbating. This is a year and a half ago, right back to all his old habits. That's just the way it is. Maybe he goes back to it. I can create an hour-long video titled, Humans Are Dumb, as I Was Dumb, in a dumb sense of how they think with rigid manners, and this is why they create almost every single one of their own problems, primarily emotionally. Chronic depression, shame and guilt, 99.9% of the time, it's not coming from some hormonal imbalance. It's coming from years of rigid thinking, poor behaviors, compulsions, and avoidance. No video that you're going to show someone that they don't want to put the work in is going to do shit. That is a very important point to remember. Then he asked another one. I know you probably received a lot, but one more to add is balancing the need to not confess and go to jail while also believing in jail systems. I believe in jail. I think jail has a lot of great benefits. I think if I was to lose control and violently harm a lot of individuals, I'm probably better off in jail because my track record shows that I cannot control my urges. So I'm better off in jail. If I continuously have cheated on my wife, it was better that she left me because I could not at the time control my behaviors, etc. So jail has a lot of great benefits. Jails are fucking awesome. They do a lot of great things for society. You have to accept that you might be one of those people that might end up in jail one day. I could end up in jail one day. I've had previous major anger problems, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to control those urges, even with the beliefs I have now, which are much more rational as I go into the future. So that's a critical thing to think about. But even the way that this question is asked, I know you probably received a lot, but one more to add is balancing the need to not confess and go to jail whilst believing in jail systems. I can just, because I know who this is, I know with this question, you are looking for an answer. There is no answer. It's like, confession doesn't do for us what we think. We have to take the risk that we're not being truthful, feeling like a fraud. We could still believe that jail does good thing for society, so we're not writing the human being off, and accept that I could be one of those people that goes to jail one day, and that's the end of that. And they're not going to believe that quickly, but that's how we break it down. Thank you again, Phil at ostrecovery.com. This series is a lot of fun. It's good to do this. I know with this particular video is a little bit harsher, but this individual knows that I'm very good at knowing when someone's been in for a while and the type of questions they're asking. I can just hear this coming out of their mouth with their tone. A lot of this is like looking for that particular stuff that they don't know, because I know they've covered this with the person that they're working with. You and I both have. Don't worry, dude. I've done the same thing myself. This was me. I was this person, going from this person to that person, maybe this and that and this, but it just came down to the basics. Can I accept myself whilst lying? Can I accept myself with the possibility of losing control? Can I accept myself whilst not being truthful at all times with my partners? Yes, 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 yes. I don't want to agree with that. I don't agree with that. Acceptance doesn't mean agreement, and going from there. Thank you again, Phil at ostrecovery.com. Hope to hear from you soon, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.